Cognitive training or brain training is a routine that aims to sustain or enhance mental capabilities. The term cognitive ability commonly addresses elements of fluid intelligence such as executive function and working memory. The core belief underlying brain training is that, similar to physical fitness, exercising the brain can enhance these mental abilities. Brain training can involve different forms such as cardiovascular exercises, online gaming, pattern-based tasks, video games involving visuospatial reasoning, or even novel engagements like dance, art, and music. Research shows that the brain retains its plasticity or adaptability to change throughout a person's life. However, the scientific community is not unanimous in its views about the effectiveness of brain training programs or the ethics behind promoting these to potentially vulnerable subjects. Over the past century, scientists have conducted exhaustive studies on cognitive training. This form of training primarily targets skills such as problem solving, reasoning, attention, executive functions, and working memory. These abilities are scrutinized as they are tied to personal differences, academic outcomes, and life results. It is believed that working on these general cognitive functions may lead to improvements across various fields. The concept of cognitive reserve refers to an individual's ability to handle various mental demands of life, including information assimilation, understanding relationships, and creating conclusions and plans. The hypothesis behind cognitive training suggests that consistent involvement in certain activities can help sustain or improve this cognitive reserve. Cognitive training studies often focus particularly on clinical groups, such as Alzheimer's patients or children with ADHD, who generally experience cognitive deficits. Moreover, cognitive training is believed to be especially beneficial for older adults, who often witness a decline in fluid intelligence due to age-related decreases in processing speed, working memory, long-term memory, and reasoning skills. However, some researchers insist that the lower performance of older adults in cognitive tasks may not necessarily reflect their actual abilities, as these adults might opt for strategies that avoid using memory retrieval in such tasks. The power of cognitive training to spark neural development, such as increased blood flow to the prefrontal cortex and decreased bilateral compensatory recruitment in older adults, has been explored in two main avenues: mental exercises and puzzles. Mental exercises often thrive through basic human interactions. Casual socializing catalyses various cognitive processes, in turn enhancing cognitive functionality. As Cartwright and Zander humorously highlighted, the sheer degree of human social interconnectedness would baffle any alien first setting sight on Earth. This clear display of interdependence reflects deeply entrenched phylogenetic roots, but modern society, particularly in the United States, experiences worrying declines in these interactions, threatening the mental health of its population. After all, human interaction is a complex dance of attention, memory persistence, perspective adaptation, situational assessment, and appropriate behavior. Many of these processes are automatic, but certain executive functions like attention, working memory, and cognitive control are consciously engaged in social interactions, training the working memory and influencing social inference. The functions of the prefrontal cortex, intertwined with our ability to perceive and control our beliefs and desires, also underline how indispensable social interaction is in the regime of mental exercises. Puzzles, on the other hand, ride on a different cognitive workout track. Neurocognitive disorders like dementia and cognitive function impairment, of particular concern for older generations, can be mitigated through solving puzzles such as jigsaws, which stimulate visuospatial functionality and maintain mental acuity. They have the advantage of being accessible, affordable, and intrinsically motivating, which see their benefits outweighing the passive intellectual engagement of activities like watching television. A third facet of cognitive training involves the self-empowering activities, such as psychodramas or mental and fantasy workshops. Associated with the discipline of yoga, these mind games, ranging from classic Sudoku to modern smart sorting games, language-related games, and others, encourage self-reflection. They provide a platform to question rigid viewpoints, elaborate on individual experiences, and attain self-knowledge. Within a relational context, this ability to envision various scenarios and internalize them adds another layer to the array of cognitive workout options. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, companies like Cognifit, Cogmed, Posit Science, and BrainAge saw an opportunity to capitalize on the increasing public attention for neuroscience and concerns around ADHD, learning disabilities, and cognitive health. BrainAge's release in 2005 signaled a pivotal shift in the industry, marketing their product to a broader audience. Instead of just those with learning disabilities, the industry grew rapidly, from $2 million spent by consumers in the US in 2005 to becoming a $1 billion industry by 2012, of which over half was software sales. The validity of brain training began to face scrutiny from scientists as the industry experienced inflated expectations and propagation of neuromyths. In 2015, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission began filing lawsuits against companies for deceptive advertising of brain training products. This included Lumosity, penalized for exploiting consumers' fears of cognitive decline without providing concrete scientific evidence and support, and fined $50 million, later reduced to $2 million. LearningRx, another firm, was found claiming that their clinically proven programs could permanently improve severe health conditions like ADHD, autism, and Alzheimer's without valid and reliable scientific evidence in a settlement. They agreed to a $4 million penalty, later reduced to $200,000, and to refrain from making unsupported claims. In light of escalating public unease about the aggressive online promotion of brain games targeting the elderly, a succession of scientific endeavors have sought to evaluate their efficacy. Starting in 2008, a scientist collective alerted the public about the paucity of research verifying the effectiveness of these games for older users. The following years saw different groups of scientists either warning about low effectiveness or, alternatively, defending the benefits of braining games, leading to conflicting conclusions. A common point of agreement, however, was that brain training appears to improve specifically trained skills, albeit little evidence was found of transferable benefits to similar or disparate cognitive tasks. In the ongoing scrutiny on brain training effectiveness, 2017 marked a prominent shift towards a more consumer-focused evaluation. A band of Australian researchers conducted a comprehensive review of studies on commercially available brain training programs out of the approximately 8,000 studies on programs offered to healthy older adults. Most failed to demonstrate their efficacy through peer-reviewed evidence. Of the few programs that proved effective, BrainChew and Cognifit emerged as particularly efficient due to supporting evidence from multiple high-quality studies. A broader perspective on cognitive training's implications was considered in 2019 research. It concluded that enhancement claims following brain training are often overstated. Genetic influences, they argued, may hold more sway over cognitive improvement. In 2020, a Cochrane review investigating cognitive training's efficacy in patients with Parkinson's disease-related cognitive impairment found inconclusive evidence. Such a conclusion was based on a small number of studies with limited participants and noted significant design and execution limitations, thus indicating a continued need for more robust investigation in the field.